Third time's a charm. First one was unfocused. Second one had no sound. So this time, hopefully, we got sound and it's in focus. So I want to talk to everybody about my Warwick custom or Corvette standard. Warwick Corvette standard. And it's a 4-string bass. It's got passive electronics, and this thing's a beast. It sounds awesome. It sounds just great. This is by far the best sounding bass I've ever owned. And I've had lots of basses. I've had active basses, I've had expensive basses, I've had cheap basses. I've got at least 3 or 4 different basses right now. And I'm not a bass player. I played bass for years in a medium-sized church, like church choir music, Pentecostal music, that kind of stuff. And I played bass in a couple bar bands and some rock bands and that kind of stuff. But I can tell you, this thing sounds fantastic. My initial read on it is it's a great studio bass. I would never gig with this bass though, because man, is it heavy. It's got to weigh like 9 pounds, maybe 10 pounds, maybe even more. I'll have to look online and see how much it weighs. But this thing is heavy, and I wouldn't want to gig a 3-set gig at a bar or in the church or somewhere else. You'd have to sit down with this thing. It does have these kind of like strap lock things, but man, I just wouldn't want to do it even though it's just a 4-string bass. I used to have a Peavey Ibanez, an Ibanez Prestige bass that was a 6-string, and I thought that one was heavy, but this thing definitely takes the cake. It seems to have mahogany body, solid Bubinga neck, and it's a 2-piece. So the fretboard is Bubinga that's been like cut and then laminated to the neck, which is Bubinga 2. And there's a laminate portion on the very top here, like a decorative piece, which looks really good. And the tuners are Warwick tuners. They're made in Germany. This bass is made in Germany, so it's got that kind of like really precise engineering to it. I don't see any mistakes on this. You know how sometimes you get a guitar, a Fender used to be terrible at this. You would get a guitar, and it might even be a high-end one, and if you spend time looking at it, you could see these little flaws, little craftsmanship issues. This one doesn't have. This thing's like perfect. It is perfect, and I'm an artist by trade, and I'm an art teacher, and that's kind of what I do. So I'm like used to looking at things and like craftsmanship and like paying attention to all the fine details, and looking at this guitar, I don't see anything wrong with it. I bought it used for $300 from a friend of mine, and $300, yeah, it's a pretty good deal. I remember going to a music store in like '93 maybe. I was in high school, and it was in Grand Haven, Michigan, and one of these was retailing for at least $800, if not $900. So I feel like I got a good deal for it. Keyboard amp, and I've got it running flat. It's about medium volume. It's set at about 4. It has a master volume, so master volume's at 4. The preamp is at 4 too, and just completely flat, reverb set at about 3. This thing rocks. Yeah, this is definitely going to be my go-to guitar for like little studio recordings and working on locking up, laying down tracks. I would never gig with this guitar though. Never. It's way too heavy. So my suggestion is this is kind of more of a studio bass. Well, the intonation's dead on, and it has a brass, a nut, and graphite saddles down here in the bridge, and it has this incredible sustain to it. All of the frets are brass too. Which seems to work. I've never played brass on a guitar, but on the bass it seems to work well. It's got a volume knob, a changer between the pickups, so you can go to the bridge. Of course, a tone knob that works for both pickups. This thing rocks. I got nothing bad to say about it. The only little weird thing about this particular guitar is it seems like the wood might be, there's a little bit of a crack developing right here, but it doesn't bother me. It just looks like it's the natural seam or kind of groove of the wood. It's just kind of separating a little bit. Kind of notice that it's got this natural finish to it. It just came with a gig bag, so I don't think I'm gonna get a caser because, like I said, I'm not gonna gig out with it. It did also come with this this kind of wax that you can put on the body. You kind of smooth it out or buff it up. Yeah, so that's the Warwick Corvette Standard from 1997. I'm never selling it because I regret the guitars that I've sold, and I'm trying to get back all the ones that I used to have. Of course, I can't get back the originals, but I can get back guitars that are very similar. And since this one reminds me a lot of a guitar that I tried one time, and something that I've always wanted, it's perfect. So yeah. Warwick Standard Corvette. thanks, everybody.